to play a video of Trump right now. Trump dropped this, I believe, yesterday. I want to play a video of Trump, guys. And this is the video that got Joy Reid, MSNBC, Charlemagne Gods of the world, the D.L. Hugleys, the Ricky Smileys, the Angela Rye's, all those shills. This is what they're scared of. This quick video that Trump dropped, and people thought it was AI, right? But then it was like, yo, I found out this is actually on his website. This is what Trump said. This is what Trump said he wants to do on day one. So let's get to the video so you guys can see what our future president said was next on the horizon. Shout out to Trump here. He in the building.
The left-wing gender insanity being pushed on our children is an act of child abuse. Very simple. Here's my plan to stop the chemical, physical, and emotional mutilation of our youth. On day one, I will revoke Joe Biden's cruel policies on so-called gender-affirming care. Ridiculous. I will sign a new executive order instructing every federal agency to cease all programs that promote the concept of sex and gender transition at any age. I will then ask Congress to permanently stop federal taxpayer dollars from being used to promote or pay for these procedures and pass a law prohibiting child sexual mutilation in all 50 states. It'll go very quickly. Furthermore, I will support the creation of a private right of action for victims to sue doctors who have unforgivably performed these procedures on minor children. The Department of Justice will investigate Big Pharma and the big hospital networks to determine whether they have deliberately covered up horrific long-term side effects of sex transitions in order to get rich at the expense of vulnerable patients, in this case, very vulnerable. I will ask Congress to pass a bill establishing that the only genders recognized by the United States government are male and female, and they are assigned at birth. Under my leadership, this madness will end. Thank you very much.
Wow. Hold on, guys. Hold up. We might have to play that again. We might have to play that again. I am all for that. As a father, and when I say I'm a father here, not only do I have a child of my own, I am also responsible for my nieces and my nephew who are still minors. And our tax dollars should not be going to gender reassignment surgery or any pills or any processes that go to kids who are under the age who is still going through puberty. I think that is nasty work that when we are going through our young development stages, puberty, when the child, whether you're a boy or girl, the body's going through so many changes because who you are during that time will reflect, and your body's going to change to make you the man or woman that you're supposed to be. And what our current administration is doing is giving the ability to kids to be gender reassignment. In California, they have laws in place where that if a child can go through gender reassignment process and go through the hormone pills, the hormone beta blockers to start the process, and the schools don't even have to tell the parents. The California schools can keep parents in the dark regarding kids who are questioning their identity. Now, in California, they're basically trying to become daddy government. They're basically saying that we're the parents, and if the parents don't agree with it, we're going to allow the kid to do what they want to do here. And so by Trump saying these things here, I am all for it. Matter of fact, guys, let's play that one more again so we can let that sink in.
The left-wing gender insanity being pushed on our children is an act of child abuse. Very simple. Here's my plan to stop the chemical, physical, and emotional mutilation of our youth. On day one, I will revoke Joe Biden's cruel policies on so-called gender-affirming care.
Wait, before we continue on, I want to know what adult think it's okay that a kid going through puberty and you want to block that process so that they can be a girl to a boy or a boy to a girl. You know, when they're doing this, they're not realizing that kids are going through so many changes because they're a kid transitioning to be a teenager, and a teenager is going to transition to a young adult. Hell, the people that they're trying to give these pills to, the transition, believed in Santa Claus 2 years ago. You're going to tell me that a kid that believes in Santa Claus and you want to allow them to change their gender? And one of the conversations that we're not talking about here is the fact that how many people have gone through gender reassignment surgery. And then after so many years and after therapy, something that happens that they don't want to talk about is they find out they're not transgender. Maybe they are just gay. And so then when they come to that conclusion when they're older in life, they can't reverse the process because these men who turn women have already cut their off. So since that happened, you can't go backwards. So why don't we wait until these kids become legal adults? Then if they feel they're in the wrong body, they can go through this process, but not as kids when these kids literally believe in Santa Claus a few years ago. You're going to tell me that a kid who believes in Santa Claus thinks he should know he's a boy or a girl? Let's continue.
Ridiculous. I will sign a new executive order instructing every federal agency to cease all programs that promote the concept of sex and gender transition at any age. I will then ask Congress to permanently stop federal taxpayer dollars from being used to promote or pay for these procedures and pass a law prohibiting child sexual mutilation in all 50 states. It'll go very quickly. Furthermore, I will support the creation of a private right of action for victims to sue doctors who have unforgivably performed these procedures on minor children. The Department of Justice will investigate Big Pharma and the big hospital networks to determine whether they have deliberately covered up horrific long-term side effects of sex transitions in order to get rich at the expense of vulnerable patients, in this case, very vulnerable. I will ask Congress to pass a bill establishing that the only genders recognized by the United States government are male and female, and they are assigned at birth. Under my leadership, this madness will end. Thank you very much.
Shout out to Trump on that one here. When people come in my comment section today saying, what is Trump going to do for you? I'm here for that. It starts off in California and then the bleeding can go to all states here. It is nasty work that we could pay tax dollar funds for somebody who wants to go through reassignment. Why do the Democrats, the Biden administration, and Kamala Harris, if she would have got elected, think that it's okay for us to pay for that? We're not stopping black women from getting BBLs. Talk to any professional doctor. BBLs is one of the most scariest and one of the most dangerous surgeries that you can perform on a person. This is something that an elective surgery that has nasty results that kills women, right? How come that when women want something like this, we're allowing them to pay for it at their own dime? Let them die if they want to. Pay out your own dime to go get a BBL, but they want tax dollar funds to go through reassignment surgery? Hold on here. I got no problem with the alphabet community and how you want to live as long as you don't pose that on me. I don't have no problem with the alphabet community as long as you're trying to impose what you're trying to move onto me, because the way I move is a whole lot differently here. You live yours and I live mine's here, but it's not my responsibility. It is not the people in this chat's responsibility. It is not my subscribers' responsibility. It's not people in Illinois, California, Texas, Vermont, wherever state it is, that taxpayer funds need to go to you being the person who you are. If women can go ahead and die to get a BBL, then you can do the same thing to make yourself the person who you are. If it's an elective surgery, taxpayer dollars should not be involved. If you want to do something to change your look, to change the way you feel, or whatever cosmetic change that needs to happen to make you a better person in society that you think that's actually going to happen, I shouldn't have to pay for it. You should. Unfortunately, if you're going through traumas and tribulations, I feel for you. But I got my own family, my own problems, and my own tribulations here. And tax dollars need to be contributed to where it matter most, not to no gender reassignment surgery, and especially not for men in prison. Kamala Harris even said this. You can say it was on a Trump ad, but it was her sit-down meeting where saying that she wanted to use tax dollar money for men in prison to gender reassign. First of all, you broke the goddamn law. If you broke the law, you don't get those privileges here. I understand that people in prison, we have a lot of cases where that people going for the wrong reasons. But whether you're in jail or not does not mean that you get the same civil liberties and then taxpayer funds that people here who are following the rules and doing what's right in this country here. So I am all here that when he is in office and the first week when he puts his hand on the Bible and Donald J. Trump accepts being the 47th president of the United States and do a clean sweep of removing these provisions, because once you become a parent and you got to deal with little kids here, I don't know about you guys who don't have kids, have your own kids, and you will feel a whole differently here about this. My God. Shout out to you, Larry. Talk about Dwayne Wade. Are you listening? Exactly. That is nasty work for Dwayne Wade to allow his daughter, well, son initial time, who was 13, 14-year-old time, to go in transition. The way I feel is if they are underage, of course, then you talk to them and you understand the psyche because maybe going through some things here, but this is the way it's supposed to be. Son or daughter, you're going through puberty. Your body's going through so many changes. Hell, you even hear your throat, you hear your voice change. If you're a woman, as a young girl, you start growing breasts and start growing hips. If you're a boy, you start getting pimples, and then you start seeing more hormone being processed in your body. But here's the thing. It's a crazy time. It's a tough time. But once you become 18 years old and then you become a legal adult, and if you still feel this way, then we can work with doctors to go through the process. But until somebody finishes puberty, where all the internal workings of your body is working to transition from a kid to an adult, let the body do what the body's supposed to do under Mother Nature. And then later on, if you feel the need, then you can go ahead and follow the process, but do not expect taxpayer money for your items. That's right, Larry. Not my tax dollars for BBLs. So if there's no tax dollars for BBLs, then I don't want to see no tax dollars for cutting off. Lord have mercy, man. Lord have mercy, man. And Show Enough says, but they say they don't want to have any money for reparations. Thank you, Show Enough. That's why I keep talking about being pro. I'm an FBA for my brothers and sisters here. The money is there for reparations. They want to ignore us. They want to give tax dollar money to transgenders. Why don't you give tax dollars to FBA for reparations? Because we're owed it. It's not because we're begging for it. It's a debt owed. I want to throw some things out there before I go to the next video here saying that, oh, we don't need reparations. Oh, y'all begging for money. Well, since my parents has been alive and along with my grandparents, I'm going to go to the 1940s. My grandparents, my parents, and now me have paid taxes in this country to pay for reparations for the Japanese. We have paid reparations damn it, I just threw a blank here. The Japanese received during World War II. I apologize. The Native Americans currently right now receive reparations past and present. Okay, other groups have received reparations that our tax dollars is coming out of here. So let me get this straight. Other groups can get reparations. When we ask for it, we're begging. When it is our ancestors, our lineage that built this country for free. Let me throw something out there for reparations to show how much they really threw us under the bus.